Guys, Joe Rogan has just dropped a bombshell on what Katt Williams is really going through after snitching on Diddy, and this is truly horrible, because it seems that Katt is just being punished for speaking up against terrible people.
Holy sh! He said what?
Are you not afraid about being blackballed again? These are some power people.
What do you mean again? These people are not powerful. Satan can't create anything. That includes blessings for his people. That's why, do you know what the #1 job of somebody that sold their soul in Hollywood is?
What?
Is to act like it didn't happen. They all do the same job.
If I didn't have a God protecting me, I would be toast. These motherfuckers hate me. I thought they were just gonna laugh it off. They did not laugh at all. Hollywood was so mad at me, I went back and watched the Shannon Sharp interview myself. What did he say? P. Diddy, 4 years. Say that again. For taking...
Pulled back when he started talking about Katt Williams and what happened after Katt exposed Diddy. Joe said he's talked to people behind the scenes, and the story is a lot darker than most folks think. According to him, whenever people try to uncover the truth around powerful figures, the information suddenly becomes impossible to find. Files get hidden, documents go missing, and anybody who speaks up gets pushed to the side.
I've had conversations with people about it, and it's like, Jesus, like just trying to get the documents, like when they're trying to get the Epstein files, like the state of New York, one of the district attorneys was hiding documents that have forced them to give documents. I think there's so many powerful people that are on those lists. There's so many powerful people that went and partied, air quotes, partied. And how many of them went to the Diddy parties?
That's why Joe thinks Katt went through so much chaos after calling people out. He said too many powerful names were connected to those circles. Nobody wanted a comedian blowing the whistle on the wrong person, especially someone like Diddy, who always had celebrities, politicians, and industry leaders at his events. Joe said everyone knows these parties happen, but now everyone's acting like they didn't see anything.
How many guys were on video saying, "Ain't no party like a Diddy party"? How many people like openly talked about being there?
LeBron?
Yeah, how about Ashton Kutcher? All these people. Like, you guys all went. You didn't see nothing? You didn't see nothing?
Yeah.
Donnell.
Donnell went? Yeah. Did he? Of course he
He's
did.
on tape,
Donnell
like, trying to defend himself.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Is he trying to defend himself right now?
It's pretty funny.
I got to call him up. Donnell, you got to back away from that.
Isn't there a video with Kamala?
She was at one of the Diddy parties?
Isn't she in the background with...
It might have been the difference between Diddy parties and freak-offs. Oh, my God.
They're giving him shit, too, because he's sitting in his...
the guy from Chappelle's Show?
Yeah.
And then Dave's there, too, and then Russell Simmons, too. Oh, boy. But is that at a party, or is that just a group of them together?
They were, like, on a yacht or something like that.
Okay, but that's not the Diddy party.
No, yeah, it's not like they were at kind of...
I think...
You think Diddy was rogue, or Diddy was like a Epstein type, working for somebody?
That's a good question. Well, it would be a great way to compromise celebrities. Yeah.
This is Joe, also connecting the dots. He said Katt was one of the only people brave enough to speak out early. Most stars were at those parties smiling, taking pictures, and pretending everything was normal. Katt was the one saying, "Nah, something's off here." And right after that, his career suddenly got harder. He got arrested over tiny things, he got banned from events, and the media painted him like he was crazy.
People want to know, why would he get blackballed?
Yeah,
because in 30 years, I've done nothing but collect information, knowledge, and your secrets. So if you and a man was in a corner doing something you wasn't supposed to be doing...
You will tell it.
No, somebody come to tell me.
Okay.
I gather that, I value that, I'll pay for that. Come, tell me. I know so many things I shouldn't know, and they all know it. They all know it. Why? Because you don't make me the villain. Not the guy that raises black children and ain't never done a hard drug in his life and don't have no stories of doing nobody dirty.
That's not an accident. When big names feel threatened, they don't go after you in public. They squeeze you quietly. People stop answering your calls. You lose opportunities. Your image gets attacked. Joe seemingly believes that's exactly what happened to Katt after he mentioned Diddy. And the interesting part is, he's not the only person who's sounded the alarm on Katt being in danger from speaking up about the horrors of Hollywood. Jaguar Wright has said it got so bad for Katt that he had to wear Kevlar in his own home because the threat to his life was so real.
Want to know what's interesting?
Go ahead.
It's Katt Williams that taught me how to be Jaguar Wright.
Oh, wow. Okay. What was it about him that you kind of say, ooh?
10-10. He was my 30th birthday present. Almost 17 years ago. I'll never forget when he walked into the club and I was sitting at my table. It's my birthday party. And Special Ed brought him.
Shout out Special.
And me and Ed were celebrating our birthdays that year for the Taurus Affair that we used to do in Miami Beach every year. And Katt was playing the amphitheater and he wanted to meet me. And he came to my party, gave me about 20 grand in cash and said, consider it a down payment on your time. And Moni Love was there. Cousin Sonny was there. Imrel was outside smoking a blunt, so she missed the infamous picture with all of us together with Katt. And me and him sitting next to each other, two hats on, two cats in the hat.
Yeah.
And he taught me so much in 9 months. Walking away was hard, but it was when the Illuminati first started coming after him. And I'll never forget the day when they breached the house. And I left. You know, back in that moment, Katt was still wearing Kevlar to bed. To bed.
And one of those figures who engaged in this culture of intimidation, she has long alleged, was Diddy.
What was it about that and him at the moment where it made you want to speak your truth?
He went after Comedy Central. That's what happened. The Flavor Flav roast. The moment that I knew the Snoop Dogg is sold out. That was a hurtful moment. I was always grateful to Snoop for taking Corrupt under his wing. Ricky was in a lot of trouble in Philly. If he hadn't signed a dog pound, I don't even know if he would have been alive. I've always been grateful to Snoop for that. Ricky, my brother.
That's real. That is real. So let me, go ahead.
They wanted Katt to humiliate Flav. Like humiliate him. Like no holds barred. And they sent a bunch of jokes. And I'll never forget watching Katt in the office downstairs at the house in Marina Del Rey. And he's sitting there looking at the script and just shaking his head. And then the next thing you know, the phone rang and I'm standing there in the office in the doorway and I'm like, are you all right? And he picked up the phone and it was Comedy Central. And I listened to him threatening him. He said, I'm not doing this. You are not going to get a black man, a real black man, to agree to do this to another black man. $. It was a terrible day. And then that's when all the incidents started happening. Them sending people to the house. Them putting plants backstage at the shows. I mean, I was on tour with him for American Hustle.
Right.
I was on set for First Sunday.
Right.
Jaguar added that Katt was also dealing with a lot behind the scenes. People showing up at his house, last-minute changes in productions he was supposed to be part of, and other entertainers stepping in after he refused to follow orders. She said this wasn't random. This was targeted pressure. And the timing always seemed to line up with the same powerful people who had ties back to Diddy.
The one thing that Katt said on Shay Shay that it seems like everybody missed, especially now, was that the biggest job of people in the Shluminati is to pretend like none of it's real, to pretend like none of it happens, to keep the secret, to make it all seem like, oh no, that's not happening, that's not happening, that's not happening. Isn't that exactly what's happening now?
Sorry.
HSI runs up onto multiple properties. And they collected all kinds of things that never made it to that courtroom, did it?
Who gonna turn down 50 million? Now, I've had to turn down $50 million 4 times just to protect my integrity and that virgin hole I was telling you about. Right, because P. Diddy be wanting to party. And you gotta tell him no. You got to tell him no. I did. I did. Motherfuckers be gay in Hollywood, you never expected. They be having these big mansion parties, and the mansion party, the whole mansion is a party, and then it's a separate party in the little rooms. I ain't been famous that goddamn long. I'm excited in a motherfucker to be at the mansion party. You be looking in all the goddamn rooms, and you around and look in the wrong room. Why you think I speak with such clarity? I'm actually involved in each one of these stories I told you about.
She believes Katt's career took a regular inmate, not a superstar. No entourage, no special treatment, just Diddy rolling up to the Chapel Library job with a simple jacket and basic prison gear. He looked worn out, older, and a lot different than the version he used to show the world. They showed him pushing a TV cart down the aisle, handing out DVDs, recommending books, and helping other inmates find religious material.
Diddy is the answer.
He's the guy to go to because we got video of him at Fort Dix reporting for work in the library, where he is making recommendations and handing out different movies and books for his fellow inmates.
I'm really fascinated just by the library
But
itself.
you're seeing him here. This is him reporting to work, taking off his jacket, taking off his scarf, and settling in for a day on the job.
It looks like a public school library.
Yeah.
It's
This was the chapel, and this is the media library in the chapel, which is where Diddy's currently working. He's working in a Life Connections program, which is an 18-month program that helps rehab people, get them closer to spirituality, to charity groups, and with that, it will shorten his sentence. But in this media library, he helps inmates with religious material, rent out movies, that kind of stuff. You see him pushing a
really
cart
interesting.
with a TV on it.
Yeah, I mean, he was in the laundry room when he first got there.
Yeah,
so this got to be
his first assignment.
This got to be a promotion.
Yeah.
It feels like a promotion. It feels like maybe he tried the lunchroom and put in a request for something different.
Yeah, it does believe it. It does sound like
mogul.
he used maybe possibly some connections to get a better job.
But the weird part is that he looked almost comfortable, smiling, calm, like none of this was real, almost as if he expects to get out soon. However, he may just have to wait for that because there has now been a new development in Diddy's ongoing legal situation. And this one is getting a lot of attention. Diddy is currently serving time after being found guilty of violating the Mann Act. A music producer who previously filed a civil lawsuit has now gone to authorities and filed an official police report about an incident he says happened in Los Angeles in 2020. This is separate from his other claims involving an encounter in Santa Monica in 2021, where he said he was confronted and called a snitch.
But here's what we know. The new allegations of sexual assault against Sean Diddy Combs come from a music producer who went to police in Florida, but the alleged crimes happened in Los Angeles. Jonathan Hay is his name. That's the person who filed the complaint, and he's one of the John Does that filed a civil lawsuit against Combs in July. The first alleged incident was in September of 2020 in L.A. Hay alleging that Combs performed sex acts in front of him and asked for oral sex. In a second incident, in 2021, Hay claims that C.J. Wallace, the son of the rapper Notorious B.I.G., took him to a location where two men put something over his head, he says, before Combs forced himself on Hay several times. Combs is currently serving out a sentence in Fort Dix, New Jersey, following his conviction earlier this year on two prostitution-related charges. Combs' representatives have not yet responded to this lawsuit.
The producer is also involved in a separate dispute with CJ, the son of the late Biggie Smalls. CJ has responded by filing a counterclaim, saying this producer is making false allegations because they chose not to work with him on music projects. As with any police report, investigators are required to look into it. But it does not mean the claim has been proven. At this stage, authorities are simply reviewing the information. Jonathan Hay, however, has long alleged a pattern of SA at the hands of Diddy.
I could still see like the floor and stuff under my eyes. They pushed me back into this room, and like there's this like ottoman. I fall in the back of the chair, and then Diddy's comes in, and I could hear his voice. I could see his feet, and I'm like trying to look up, through these little cracks, like what's going on. He's like, you don't deserve Biggie Smalls. You don't deserve, to be with the Biggie estate. He's just going on and on and on and on and on, right? And like sitting there like tripped out because I was in a home invasion, 2 years prior to that.
Right.
And next thing you know, Diddy is like putting his in my mouth, and I'm like, he's grabbing my head, and he's like grabbing the back of my head and like.
TMZ Live said that many people waited years before speaking publicly due to Diddy's influence in the industry, but others argue it's too early to make any judgment. Right now, everything remains in the hands of investigators and the legal system. We'll have to wait and see whether this new claim leads to charges, gets dismissed, or moves forward in court. For now, though, he has more pressing issues, namely with 50 Cent also dropping a big bomb on him. Netflix has officially released the synopsis and teaser for 50's upcoming documentary series, The Reckoning, which focuses on Diddy's rise, his influence on the music industry, and the legal battles that later surrounded him. All 4 episodes will be available to stream on December 2nd. The reaction online has been crazy, with many people, such as DJ Academics, questioning if 50 should really be making documentaries like these.
50, I'm not even gonna lie to you, I thought he was trolling, because I do think 50 is a guy to kick you when you're down, and Diddy did seem like he was down for a long time. Pause. And I thought 50 was just trying to kick his back in. It was clear that 50 wanted him to go to jail for a lengthy time, maybe for the rest of his life. And I've said personally, I really think that 50 wanted him to go to jail because he was baby moms. You get what I'm saying? And that's what that is. However, it looks like 50 wasn't playing around when he had announced from back in the day that, he was going to create at that time he called it the Diddy Do It doc. And he said he was going to do it and, oh pun intended, he said he was going to do the doc and put it out with Netflix. And it appears that he wasn't capping. Netflix has actually put out a press release. Variety and other outlets picked it up. And they have announced that there is a release date, December 2nd, which is the Netflix documentary series from the executive producer, Curtis 50 Cent Jackson. And it is called Sean Combs' The Reckoning. It's going to only be on Netflix. And yes, 50 is the executive producer. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. This is a huge power move by 50. Now, I love 50, so we're not going to get into certain stuff, but 50 doesn't have the cleanest history. Sometimes I feel like when they go for these type of docs, the Surviving R. Kellys, they go for the most woke person to present the doc because you kind of need somebody to soapbox. With all due respect, I'm not saying 50 had freak-offs and shit like that, but 50 is 50 Cent, bro. You know what I mean? It's like 50 Cent isn't the most model human being. Not saying he's been accused or he does stuff that Diddy does, but 50 is 50.
The series covers Diddy's entire career, from his early days building bad boy records and shaping artists like the Notorious Big and Danity Kane, to the wave of lawsuits and criminal convictions that eventually brought his career to a halt. Who do you think we could see in this documentary? Are you expecting to see any shock names? Let us know in the comments below. That'll do it for this video, folks. Thanks for watching.